Alright guys, here it is, my Thai motorbike driving license, which allows me to start the big northern Thailand road trip, which I will start in a few days. And in this video I'm going to explain you all about the process, how to make the driving license in Thailand. In my case it was the motorbike license, but it is the same process for the car license as well. What is the process, what is the price of it, and how you can make it true in case you need a Thai driving license. And yeah, first of all, why am I doing the license? I did a community post a week ago where I explained that I'm going to make the license, and some comments were like, oh, you don't have to do a Thai license, you can just get an international license with your home country's license. You don't need to do a Thai driving license. But there are two things. First of all, yes, you can get an international license if you have a license in your home country, but that is only for the vehicle that you are allowed to drive in your home country. So if you have a car license at home, that means you are allowed to drive a car in Thailand, but not a motorbike, not a scooter. And so if you want to drive a motorbike, you need a motorbike license. And the second thing that I think not many people know is if you are in Thailand for more than 3 months, your international license is not valid anymore. If you are in Thailand for more than 3 months, you need a Thai license. And I am in Thailand for more than 3 months already, so I need a Thai license. And also some comments were like, if the police stops you here, it's not a problem, you pay them a fine and then you're good to go. That might be true, but however, if you don't have a proper license, your insurance is not covering you. If you have an accident, and even if it's not your own fault, if you don't have a proper license, your insurance will not pay a single dollar. And I didn't want to take this risk, making a big road trip and not being covered in case anything happens. And then yeah, the first step of making the Thai driving license is to find a driving school. I found a school in Chiang Mai where I spent the past weeks, and in case you're looking for a school in Chiang Mai, I will leave a link to my school in the comments. And yeah, you call them, you ask them, do you have a class available? And in my case, I had to wait for 2 weeks until there was a free spot in one of their classes. Then I had to register for the class, and the registration fee was 500 baht. That was not the final price, but we will get to the final price later. So 500 baht for registration. And then I had to wait 2 weeks until, yeah, there was a free spot in one of their classes. But in these 2 weeks, I did 2 things in preparation that you need to do before you can start the actual class. So I have just been to the Chiang Mai Ram Hospital, which is a private hospital, to do my medical checkup for the driving license. See if I'm healthy enough. And yeah, I just went here to the counter, told them I would like to get a certificate for the driving license, and they knew exactly what I'm talking about. Then they guided me to the counter. You have to register yourself, fill out some forms, some basic information, very easy. And then you see the doctor, and the doctor is making some basic tests like checking your blood pressure, and I had to see some numbers to see if I'm colorblind or not. So very basic medical checkup. The whole process, including the waiting time, was like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I had to pay 171 baht to get the medical certificate, and now I'm healthy enough to drive. Alright, and the second step of preparation needs to be done at your nearest immigration office. I'm here at the immigration office in Chiang Mai at the moment, and yeah, I told them I need a certificate of residence for the driving license, and they knew exactly what I'm talking about, and they sent me to an officer, and I had to fill out some forms. You need to bring a picture of yourself, and the certificate of residence is basically just a statement, where are you staying at the moment. So I guess it will include the address of my hotel. I had to pay 900 baht, and they will send me the certificate tomorrow. The whole process here was 5 minutes, very easy. And yeah, you need this certificate of residence to apply for the driving license. Alright, if you have done these 2 things in preparation, then it is time to start the class. And yeah, the whole process of doing the license takes 1.5 days. So the first day is just preparation and learning, and the second day is for the exam, for the driving test, and for the multiple choice written exam. But I will get to that later. So first day at the school, I arrived at 8 o'clock in the morning. You register, you need to bring your passport and the documents from the hospital and from the immigration office. And then I was placed at the back of a regular school classroom full with Thai students. There was a teacher explaining things on the board. everything in Thai. But yeah, I was placed at the back of this classroom in front of a computer. And then what you do for the next hours is just watch videos. And yeah, these videos are basically the replacement of having class, because the class is in Thai and the videos, most or some of them are in English and some of them are in Thai, but with English subtitles. And then yeah, you watch videos all about the driving rules in Thailand, how to drive, how to what are the signs meaning, basically everything you need to know to drive safely is explained in the videos. And yeah, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours watching videos. And then there was a lunch break where I had some nice dinner at a restaurant in front of the school. I think the lunch break was about 1 hour. And then after the break, you can actually rehearse the questions for the multiple choice exam, which you will have to take in order to get the license. And it is a set of 500 questions. And out of the 500 questions, 50 will be randomly chosen in the final exam. And out of the 50 questions, you have to have at least 45 correct to pass the test. So you can then rehearse the questions, click through them. It's all multiple choice questions. It's always 1 question and 4 possible answers. And I would say if you have a license in your home country already, if you have driven a car for a few years, if you have driving experience, then I would say 90% of the questions are really easy and shouldn't be any problem. However, a few questions are specifically for Thai laws, like for example, what is the speed limit in a Thai city or on the Thai highway, stuff like that. That's maybe different from the speed limits in your home country. So some questions you really have to rehearse or remember them. So it is good that you have the chance on this day to do that. But yeah, 90% of the questions I think really easy to answer. And yeah, all in all, it's not a strict environment. It doesn't feel strict. The staff is super friendly. There was always at least one guy who can speak English. You get free coffee and free snacks at the school. So it is a really chilled atmosphere. It doesn't feel like being strict in school or university. And yeah, after you have rehearsed the questions, there's actually a driving part as well. So you get on a motorbike, they have motorbikes at the school, or if you do the car license, you get onto a car, and then you drive their test driving area, which is a really, really simple area, just a few turns. You have to stop at a stop sign there, so really basic things. But one thing was not that easy. There was like a yellow line on the floor, and you have to balance on this line. And what makes it challenging is you have to stay on this yellow line for at least 10 seconds. If you fail to do that, you're gonna fail the driving test. So that was the only thing that I was struggling with a little bit, but yeah, you can rehearse it a few times. And yeah, another thing that is done during the first day is they make an eye test with you, so you have to see numbers on the wall. You make a reaction test as well, but all of this is really, really easy to pass, so shouldn't be any problem at all. And yeah, at the end of the day, 6 o'clock, so it's 10 hours the first day, including 1 hour break for lunch. The day is over and you just come back. In my case, it was 3 days later, I had to come back for the exam day. And yeah, the exam day starts again with watching more videos. It's incredible how many hours of videos you watch, and including one video where they show road accidents. That was actually not nice to watch. You see people die on the roads, which happens almost every day here in Thailand. And I think they show this video to show yeah, what can happen if you don't drive carefully, or if you drive drunk or with drugs, or yeah, speeding too much. So it was not nice to see the video. But yeah, then around noon, it was time to make the driving test actually. So you drive the same area that you drove on the first day, and yeah, if you pass it, you pass it. If you fail it, however, for example, if you're not able to stay on the yellow line for at least 10 seconds, you have a second try. If you fail the second try as well, the same with the written exam, you get to do it again 3 days later. So you can fail one time. If you fail a second time, you have to wait for 3 days until you can retake it. Yeah, but luckily I passed the test pretty close. I was on this yellow line for 10.04 seconds, So really close, but I passed it. And yeah, after the driving test, it was time for the multiple choice written exam. And yeah, here 50 questions out of the 500 that you could rehearse the other day, 50 random questions, and you have to pass or have to have at least 45 correct. And I passed with 47 correct, so all good, no problem. So yeah, and when you have passed the 2 tests, you get a certificate and you have to pay the final fee, which is 1,000 baht. So in total, it's 1,500 baht that you have to pay to the school. Yeah, with this certificate, you can go to the DLT, which is the Department of Land Transportation. And here you can actually get your license. So it took like 10 minutes. They take a photo of you for the license and you have to pay another 105 baht here. And then you have your license. So the whole process was 1.5 days and the final result is this license. So that brings the final cost to 171 at the hospital, 900 baht at the immigration office, 1,500 baht at the driving school and 105 baht at the DLT. So the total cost is 2,676 baht, which is way cheaper than my driving school in Germany, which was like almost $2,000. Driving school in Germany is very expensive. And yeah, if you want to do the car license, I asked about the license for the car, and instead of 1,500 at the school, it's 4,500. And these prices may be different at different schools, but at my school, 4,500 for the cars, 1,500 for the motorbikes. And yeah, what is also really good to know, especially for me, I can use this license also in other Southeast Asian countries. For example, if I go to Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, I can just convert this license into the local license, so I don't have to go to school again in, let's say, Vietnam, which is really nice for me because I plan to travel all around Southeast Asia in the next years. So this license will cover me in all of these countries, which is really nice. And yeah, so we have the license now. We are able to drive legally a motorbike in Thailand. And yeah, the next video will be a preparation video for the big road trip, which will be online in 2 days. And then 1 day later, the big road trip will start, the first episode of the road trip. So I am excited. I hope you guys are as well. So thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay positive, and then see you in the next video. Ciao, guys.